Greetings and welcome to the Transform Podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Anastasio. It is Tuesday, June 27th, 2023, and this is episode 112 of our podcast. And welcome back, guys. We last published nearly a month ago, really the beginning of this month on June 1st. Episode 111 was about getting smarter on Instagram's algorithms. Did a whole segment on, or a whole podcast really, on some of the insight that Instagram was providing on its algorithms and how to, best attempt to optimize for those algorithms. So if you guys are active on Instagram or you're trying to get active on Instagram, would definitely encourage you to check out the last episode that we published on June 1st. And oh, by the way, it happens to be the first video episode that we published as well. So all 110 before that were audio only. But anyway, today I want to talk to you guys very quickly about some observations that I'm just personally seeing with Facebook Live, and why I think that should be part of your guys' strategy in terms of tailoring live sessions on Facebook to your business. Finding ways to use a live format to deliver even more value than you would if you just posted a video, or you just posted segments of that video, or clips of that video, or extracted text from that video. Like, in other words, why live specifically? And I think, so here's the deal, guys. Personally, doing some Facebook Lives, I am noticing a drastic difference in organic reach. I'm noticing that Facebook Lives are just getting more eyeballs, but by far, by a very noticeable difference than anything else that's going up on Facebook, whether it's feed posts, stories. Reels are a competitor, no question about it. Facebook Reels have been pretty interesting, but they're kind of all over the place in terms of how high can they go or how low they've been in terms of users that have actually viewed them. But I'm noticing more with Facebook Live, kind of like a steady march upward in terms of the engagement that's coming in there, just in terms of eyeballs coming on to the video at some point or another, or afterwards. So I think there's something interesting in that data that makes us want to communicate that to you guys here on the podcast about trying out some Facebook Lives and giving it a little while to catch on for you. So before we even get into some of the ways you can do lives and make them as effective as possible, note that if you do one or two of them and you kind of give up, obviously you're not going to see anything from them. You have to make a steady commitment to it over a period of time, and you got to consistently show up and do them. Not just because the algorithm will like you doing them more often, but because your audience may get used to them. And if if you do a couple lives here and there, but it's so wildly inconsistent and off pattern, nobody's going to assume you ever do them with any regularity, and they're not going to keep coming back. So there's actually kind of a pragmatic, not just algorithmic reason that you want to be consistent and you want to keep showing up, okay? So that's just kind of a caveat. I think if you are going to try this strategy, or you're going to try using this format, you have to commit to it. You have to say, okay, we as a business are going to do a live, and pick a number you can stick to. Once a week, every Wednesday at 11 a.m., we're going to go live on Facebook, and we're going to do it for 6 months, and we're going to see from session number 1 to session number, 25-ish, 25 weeks later, we're going to see if the needle moved. And I think you guys are going to see the needle move. Now, let me just talk to you guys quickly. I don't want to belabor this too long. I think you get the point. You should try Facebook Live. Here's a couple hints and tips about doing Facebook Live. Number 1, completely anathema, completely opposite to other advice we've given you for other platforms and other formats. Go long. Make your broadcast lengthy, 30 to 60 minutes ideally. And an asterisk there is, if the only piece of content you can get to that day is doing an 8-minute live on Facebook, do it. Don't say, well, I can't do 30 minutes, I'm not going to post anything today. Obviously, if all you can do is X number of minutes, do it. But know that if you're really plotting out a careful Facebook Live strategy, you want to aim for long blocks of time. The reason being, I see it two ways. Number one, the official way you'll probably hear is that if you have a 30 to 60 minute Facebook Live, you're giving your audience and people on Facebook plenty of time to come to your live and to come into it while you are live. It's not like you're hopping on and hopping off and then nobody can join you, right? So that's number one. The second reason, I think just personally, not going to say this is confirmed, is that if you're interactive in your live, meaning you're taking questions, you're interacting with your audience, the longer you stay on there, the longer you're exposed, the longer you could potentially run into somebody asking you a question you can't answer, somebody saying something that you're maybe not 100% how to deal with it. The very fact that you hang in there for 30 to 60 minutes, to me at least, means something. It has pragmatic value, in terms of just your exposure to your audience. I could jump on a live for 3 minutes and disappear and pretty much bank on the fact nobody's going to get a chance to ask me a question. Nobody's going to have a chance to challenge me or interact with me. But if I stay in there for a long time, those chances go way up because more people are going to be attracted to the live the longer it goes on, and they're going to have those chances to ask me those questions and maybe put me on the spot. Okay, number two, schedule your broadcast. Meaning, obviously you're not going to schedule a live per se, but you can tell people when you're going to go live. You can say, on Monday morning, say, hey, I'm going live at the usual 11 o'clock time on Wednesday, blah, 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 or you can go longer in advance than that. Hey guys, join me on, July 18th at noon for a live session. You can put some scheduling behind your lives, and you can really get people into a rhythm where they expect them, they mark them on their calendar. It gives you just a better chance of having a bigger audience because people have some notice. It's not just like, they're scrolling through Facebook and they see a notice pop up that says, hey, Chris Anastasia went live on Facebook, okay? And third and last tip before we wrap up, is to encourage engagement. While you're doing lives, tell people, drop me a comment, ask me a question. When you're outside the lives, tell people, when I go live, bring your questions, bring your comments. You can ask people to submit comments and questions, let's say ahead of time, and you can get interactive once you're in the live if you want to do it that way. But just prompt people to do it and then stay true to it. So when people start asking you questions, answer those questions. Call them out. Hey, user XYZ, I see your question about blank. Here's my best answer to that. If you see questions you can't answer, don't ignore them. As everything comes in, address it, engage with it. Obviously, if you get enormous and you have thousands of questions coming in, that's not going to be realistic, but that's not going to be your problem in the beginning, okay? So, takeaways. Try Facebook Live if you're not trying it already. It's definitely experiencing high organic reach, on par with, maybe a little bit better, in my opinion, than Facebook Reels. That's point number two. Point number three, pay attention to these three factors I just talked about. Pay attention to length of broadcast, scheduling broadcasts, and engaging people on your broadcast, okay? And lastly, I would just say, guys, don't overthink it. Don't get too hung up or wrapped up on it. Just try going live in different scenarios, in different settings, with different levels of preparation. Obviously, the more you can be routine and rigid in doing it, the more chance you're going to bring more people onto the live session. But don't let that stop you from making the content. So if the only chance you have is a quick, hurried 10-minute live versus doing nothing, do the live. Okay, if you're in your car and you're sitting in traffic and you can do a 7-minute live until traffic starts moving again, just do it. Just try it. Just see what happens. Being in an odd situation like that can even bring out a little bit of personality and get the connection factor going even more so with your audience, okay? So let's wrap it up here, guys. Would love to hear what people are doing on live to improve your lives, to get more reach from your lives, to get more audience engagement and interaction. Anything you guys want to share with us, please, of course, you can contact us on Facebook and LinkedIn at Pransform, Pransform. Website's pransform.com. And of course, we highly encourage you and hope that you will subscribe to this podcast and share this podcast far and wide. Again, guys, love to hear what you're either planning to do with or what you are doing with Facebook Live. Okay? Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. Headed into, literally can't believe it, the middle of the year. when we hit Saturday, July 1st, so that's kind of hard to get my arms around. But in the meantime, guys, looking forward to bringing you more content in the second half of the year, particularly obviously in this video format. Let us know how you like the video format versus the audio format that we've used in the past. All right? Hope everybody has a great Tuesday night, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye-bye.